Nebraska will take on number 18 Oregon on Friday and number 12 Florida on Saturday. Head coach John Cook says senior setter Kelly Hunter participated in 2/3 of Wednesday's practice, but there's still no word on how much time she'll miss due to an undisclosed injury suffered last week. If Kelly Hunter does not play, redshirt freshman Hunter Atherton will likely take her spot. Despite a big challenge awaiting the Huskers this weekend, Atherton feels ready to play.
Our entire team, like whether you're on the bench for a game or on the court, whatever, we're all really ready to play. We train really hard every day in practice, and we train like we're going to be going in the next game. So coach really prepares us, and like our entire team is really supportive. So I feel like anyone can jump in at the last minute even.
Atherton had 3 kills and 7 digs in last week's red-white scrimmage.
Nebraska gathered 9 letters of intent from their 2018 signing class today on what was the first day of the early signing period. The Huskers' 2018 class now has 13 known commits. The class ranks 46th in the country and 11th in the Big Ten, according to 24/7 Sports. Nebraska still has a couple of targets that will likely announce later this week, but head coach Scott Frost said in a teleconference Wednesday afternoon he's happy with the recruits that he and his staff have secured thus far.
I feel good about where we are. I didn't want to come in and try to fill a class in 2 weeks, because that doesn't give us enough time to evaluate and get to know people and develop relationships. There's a lot of work left to be done, but I think we got a good start on it, and I like where we landed from a number standpoint.
Nebraska basketball coach Tim Miles and the team have come up with the motto, "Hate Never Wins," to take a stand against comments made by UNL student Daniel Cleve, who claimed in a widely distributed YouTube video that he's, quote, the most active white nationalist in the Nebraska area. Senior guard Evan Taylor says their motto has a simple meaning.
I think it just represents, the message of spread love. We all humans, whether you play basketball, whether, you're just a normal student, we all humans, and, we all feel the same emotions. So nobody ever wants to feel unsafe or, feel like they aren't loved. So spread love. Hate will never win in this world.
Miles attended a rally on UNL campus Wednesday that protested Cleve's comments. Miles said he felt it important to be there on behalf of his players.
I think as the head coach that it was important for me to let our guys know I'm with them. I've never gone through that. Whether it be a matter of privilege or whatever, I don't walk in shoes of racism.
Nebraska has now tied the school record with 12 conference wins this year, and their 21 overall victories tie for 5th most in school history. Penn State, who Nebraska plays this Sunday, is also gunning for a bid in the NCAA tournament with 19 wins overall. Nebraska coach Tim Miles expects the game to be a battle with lots to play for.
Penn State, to me, has got as much talent as anybody in this league. Tony Carr, Mike Watkins, Lamar Stevens, Josh Reeves, Shep Garner. They've just got a tremendous team. That game should be a high-level game.
Sophomore Isaiah Roby says more wins will likely have to come in the Big Ten tournament as well.
It's a must-win, can't lose anymore. Because if we want to go where we want to go, which is to the tournament, we got to build our resume. So we got another big game on Sunday. Today was a big game for us to win, and then we got to make some noise in the tournament too.
The Huskers started practice early this morning at 6 a.m. It is the only practice Nebraska held this week as they head off to spring break. Head coach Scott Frost says he wants his guys to rest and to make good choices.
Be smart. We talk about taking care of the brother to your left and the brother to your right, making good decisions. We don't have a lot of rules around here. It's just do the right thing.
All told, Frost said the team had a great first day back on the field.
Good day one. Really impressed with the effort and enthusiasm out here. The guys took to the style of practice that we're going to have really well. A lot of details that still need to get fixed, but that was good effort and intensity.
CenturyLink Center Omaha is playing host to one of the biggest sporting events of the year. Kansas, Duke, Clemson, and Syracuse will take part in the Sweet 16 Friday for a chance to play in the Final Four next weekend in San Antonio. Deb Ward, the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Visit Omaha, says the exposure gained from hosting this event is irreplaceable.
Sweet 16 games last year averaged 5.7 million viewers per game. That almost doubles for the Elite 8 games with an average of 10.2 million viewers per game. So millions of folks will be hearing the name Omaha over and over again, and that type of promotion is priceless.
The other host cities are LA, Boston, and Atlanta. Academic issues caused Deontay Williams to attend Jones County Junior College in Mississippi for 2 years. With improved grades, Williams was on the move at the end of 2017 and planned a visit to UCF until Scott Frost took a new job.
I was going to take a visit to UCF, and that's when I talked to Scott Frost, and he was like, I want you to come to Nebraska with me. I'm like, all right, I give Nebraska an opportunity, so I canceled that flight to UCF.
Williams is learning a new defensive scheme, and he's also learning about a state he knew very little about before.
Watch movies and stuff like the corn and stuff, so I thought it was going to be like a lot of farms. It's a small city. I like it, so.
Have you seen a farm yet?
No.
11 cities across the state have partnered to create Sports Nebraska, a coalition with the purpose of selling Nebraska to regional and national sporting event planners. Derek Bombeck of the Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau says this partnership will help show what Nebraska has to offer for hosting sports.
The mission that we have is Sports Nebraska aims to attract and promote a strong culture of regional, national, and international competitions within Nebraska cities.
Executive Director of Nebraska Tourism John Ricks says the benefits of the coalition go far beyond just sporting events.
It can be actually bigger in terms of economic impact, getting new people to Nebraska, introducing them to Nebraska itself.
It was the highest attended spring game in the country this year and the highest attended in Nebraska history. More than 86,000 fans at Memorial Stadium watched Scott Frost take the field for the first time as the Huskers head coach.
Walking out of the tunnel and hearing the fans, that brought back more memories than a lot of other things have, especially just the smell of the stadium with the food in there, and just took me back a long time. So it was a pretty special day for me.
Nebraska has one final practice on Monday, and Coach Frost plans to start meeting with players one-on-one this week to recap the spring and talk about future plans with each member of his team.
The Tunnel Walk has been a staple in the Nebraska football experience since 1994. It's always been set to Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project, but during Saturday's spring game, Gary Clark Jr.'s version of the Beatles' hit song Come Together provided the soundtrack. This has fans wondering, is change on the way? Head coach Scott Frost said on Sports Nightly Wednesday night that there are talks, but nothing yet has been decided.
There's talk keeping it the same, and there's talk of having a fresh new one every time we come out for a game. So I don't know if the decision's been made on that.
Tommy Rezach, Nebraska Radio Network.